All right, I am going to be winging it and just really work from off of some notes I have. But first, let me go ahead and help myself with some water. A moment. So, guys, are you tired of meeting unintelligent and not very talented men, let alone don't even have jobs or do have jobs? Let's give them a break on that because they might be living with certain problems. But not many want to hold out when they are tired of meeting untalented and unintelligent men. Right? I'm not asking for you to be professional or well educated or very attractive and overly kind, but just a bit of class. Because in the Social Alchemy Project Access Management, and you having access to your own management, your own alchemy, self-governance, you being your own alchemist, you're building a queer community with Tyler, Lord Hamilton, myself, and you may realize without knowing it that you come from a queer, radical, feminist male identification, and at some length have been victimized by women of certain problems. Let's just leave it at that. So you are physically stimulating, but not intelligently provocative because you don't know how it works when foreplay is everything. Right? A lot of you men are chronically horny and you are successful losers. That's how you feel. I'm not putting you down. I'm just telling you the way you feel. One moment. I have to get a tissue for my nose. One moment. All right. So we are all cosmic dust, okay? And at the end of the day, we only impact our experience. So if you don't know how to be reflective, self-reflective, then you don't know how to be self-reliant because you have to keep a check on self and have a level of self-criticism in order to have the universe continue to expand for you with love that is making you in your body decompose, and the mind will only return to the light. Okay, so men, I've said this in my lectures, life is temporal, transitory, and fleeting. That comes from Sophia Dahl, Manhattan, composer, opera singer, trained opera singer, producer, director, humanist, anti-animal cruelty, not policymaker, but definitely advocate. So, men, talent, I'm just asking for you to provide. It's because you prefer quality over random quantity and tossing one another around by having sex with strangers. Needlessly to say, it's all transitory and fleeting, and at some point you may feel like you're living your life for nobody except for your own desire, and you may be easygoing, but you're not sorted out, okay? As a humanist, as somebody that's a bright spark with a good sense of humor and bringing hope to the world because they're decent conversationalists. That alone is just mere talent. personality at this point. We are settling for talent, Just say you have a good personality. A lot of men like to hear their favorite words, and that is yes, sir. In the modernism of art and male sculpture, novelty-seeking behaviorism and what it means to become a thinker and to rechannel energy to go ahead and become your alchemist, you are defining your personality characteristic as curiosity, or curious-minded, curious George, or like I say, satisfying the curiosity of your virgin soul. So that when you have found love, okay, it goes beyond affection. And the genius that has come from within you carries a price, I'm sorry to say. And that's because you've discovered, Tyler Lord Hamilton, you're broken down, you feel defeated, and you need some type of oral defense, some type of advocacy that speak on all your behalf. Pardon me, I'll put on my dentures so I can speak properly. Much better. Where you have a transmission, because everything is what? Transcendental psychology. Means that world peace is inevitable because of the intelligences of the universe, and becoming what? Sexually literate men. You have to clear your mind and find a spiritual path that is in yourself and in your breath. It becomes your own salvation. You got brains, you have hearts, thoughtfulness, and some kind of moral compass counts for a lot. But in your being sorted out, allow yourself to be organic. Allow yourself to be full of surprises and young at heart. Mostly to say, you don't have to be rigid, because you don't live in the standards that are put on you, and you could be spontaneous, and you can enjoy your life, and ultimately have a relationship with yourself as the goal. This commitment to yourself comes after sharing quality time with yourself for months, or maybe even years. Love, okay, is a beast that will tear out your heart, but men may hungrily lick it and painfully pick it apart. You, after they use you for sex, such as the girly boys or the sissies or the twinks or the ginger boys, makes you only what? Throw shade around and eye roll, rolling your eyes, and lightly patronizing, but being also passive-aggressive and agreeing and laughing at yourself because you're so evil. And at the end, you admitted to other people you lost control. You have this loss of psychological masculinity. Even though you're an easygoing guy and you're organic, you're not intelligent in the type of person to think, to use your brains and your heart, and to sort out your life. You have to dig nice people a lot to do things as a community organizer, and you have to like yourself when you avoid jerks and idiots whenever possible, and anything during sex where you're not going to be thrown out of bed afterwards. You got to really pick who you get close to. Enjoy your freedom to live where you can, to be who you want, and consider settling down very seriously in your future. When you're looking at your own consciousness of being inside of love in your heart, you then can make what? Relationships outside yourself last, because you're what? Sorted out. You got to not be a dick, okay? because there's always somebody that's going to outdick you, and you may not recover. Like Star Wars, there is a dark side, all right? So, you are the most powerful thinker on earth, no joke. And when you sit in front of your smartphone or your application or your YouTube channel or your computer station at your home-based office or what have you, the important thing for you to face is the universe inside your heart as the way to that salvation, and sorting out your mind so you can get on to meeting intelligent and talented men, because suffering doesn't have to be permanent. You can help others as you do the same, and you take a planetary note of your karmic philosophies if you believe in karma and doing good to others. This is going to be genius for you if you're not highly eccentric and sensitive like myself, or handsome and a catch for anyone that has enough brains and heart and elegance to get it. Right? Tyler Lord Hamilton. That being the case, you only save yourself, and those men you may feel drawn to may have admitted to themselves that they are very lucky that they can reach into their genitals instead of reaching that spot on the back that they can't reach because it itches. At least they can itch their genitals, right? And be friends with themselves and know that they have the monster under their bed, and they can get along with the voices inside their head. And because you ultimately are what? Trying to save yourself. So stop holding your breath and move forward. We say this is crazy because you got your crazy, all right? You've had your jack off for freedom social policy, okay? You have everything that you need in the democratic system, and you have an anything goes type of guy that you're probably going to meet. But if they can't communicate and they don't have ordered thinking and you're not attracted, don't make yourself set up a plan on living life on earth with that missing rip in your heart. It's okay to say, you know what, I deserve more, even though the guys looking out there are missing the rip. They're not willing to spend the rest of their life alone if they need to get to know themselves, but they're looking for anything that brings them pleasure, and they think this is part of being in love. Well, part of being in love is also loving others. This is looking smart, and this is looking nice. And it's part of having a beautiful gay culture with so many cold hearts out there, because you understand that people have lost their sense of compassion. You want to be sincere, sensitive. And these are things that will help mark yourself as having ordered thinking and attracting not so unintelligent and untalented men. Is when you are sincere. Write these down if you need to. Sincere, sensitive, masculine, and have some modesty, have some self-respect. All right? And have no judgment for others if they don't have self-respect. All right? And they keep peeing, partying and playing with methamphetamines. They keep using their porn and attracting married and bi-curious men that have families and children back at home because they're apparently heterosexual, and they're playing on your side and you're giving them methamphetamines or crystal meth because they're losing inhibitions, and you could be a converter, you can convert them, or you could be a missionary. Well, that's not right. But if people are doing this, don't judge them, because there's a reason why. And they have not appealed to you because you haven't been willing to look at what it means to possibly be in their shoes, because you need to also learn to be what? A good listener, be confident with high self-esteem, be smart, and seek depth when you conversate with men and have a genuine understanding of moving yourself along as they are moving you along with their story. You know, we want you to be true when you tell them that you understand, and you want to be genuine because this is depth. And you're being assertive, so you want to be assertive and compassionate, empathetic, open-minded, open-hearted, open hands, open legs, whatever, as long as you show people that you are vulnerable. And you also can start enforcing boundaries. Admit that you can be stubborn, but also be affectionate to others and think of people as beautiful people. Also be decisive when you get away from ugly-hearted people that make them ugly in the face, and recognize that you also have flaws, but you want to learn and you want to grow, and so you have to be in a business mindset as a man by way of technology. All right? Read all that you need, educate yourself the most that you can, and when you do this, be dedicated to the healthy thinking and doing good work for yourself. And also be a dedicated partner. If you're single, at least be a dedicated partner. I have to put in my dentures so I speak right. Be also a dedicated partner or neighbor for somebody, even if you're single. And you want to be a happy person, but you want to be honest and not be fake about that. Because you want to be real. This is because you can communicate, remember? And you have your life ordered. You have a good personality. So you have talented traits and character as you seek to be organic, real, down to earth. Clean up. Be nice looking. Honest, sincere, caring, loving. For long-term relationship options and possibilities, openness to meet somebody for a date because you never know. You might hit the jackpot, hear wedding bells, have a marriage between the ages of 30 to 50 years old maybe, and have some type of prime before you hit your 70s or 80s. You don't need to care what people do for work, as long as they are what I've said as proverb. The main profession is to go back to who you are and where you live. Okay, not so much the car you drive or how much money you make or even have saved. Now, if somebody is rich, doesn't mean you have to say get lost. There's a lot of people bitter to rich people because they think they're the worst and they're self-centered and arrogant, greedy and cheap on others. Actually, I have found that people that are not rich are more greedy. That's just what I have found. And in myself as well. So when you think that you are better than the rest of society or others, you have a tendency of becoming what? Corrupt and greedy. You're not untouchable from the law, okay? Even though I believe in the wealth of what democracy promotion can provide you, in the privacy of your homes. I don't care what you do behind closed doors, as long as you're fun to go out with, okay? So, at the end of your precious life, the only precious worth is going to be how you saved yourself through this elevation and this ordered thinking. Because what? You acknowledged first and foremost what Gandhi says. I've said this before in my lectures. I beat myself up for saying it again. But if you want the world to change, you start with changing yourself. And then you can disciple other people through the New World Christ Church and everything that we're going to provide you in the social sciences. And, you know, be buried and cremated in your ejaculation as much as you want in your mind. For the rest of us, you know, are turned on just from justice being in the world. But do what is right for you. If you are a sexually active man with same gender and serious about making your year a year of transformation, then you have to see this as part of your managing yourself and being self-governance. So I think that all that being stated leaves me only one thing to close with, is that I have much gratitude for the time you spent letting me discuss these principles with you. And I told you I would kind of be taking it just from the notes that I have. And I think that together we can have a much better planet because of what? Ordering yourself, ordering your mind and your purpose. Dankeschön.